watching sports with Ben Rosehart.
The third time was the charm for the Clinton Lumber Kings as they finally were able to play their home opener, but now he's making a move on the back nine. He had an eagle on 14. It is not easy to finish second in the state of Illinois, and that's exactly what the Almond Pioneers have done for the second time in 3 years. Is it better to have levied and lost than to have never levied at all? Members of Justice's family have gone to Africa before, but for him, it's more of a leap of faith.
I think I'm going to learn how to slam dunk before the season's over.
With or without the trampoline?
Well, we'll see.
The Nittany Lions like to gamble a little bit on fourth down, and there's a method to their madness. So he knows a thing or two about March Madness, and now he is one more win away from matching that feat. You never know what's going to happen, right? And you also never know who might stop by, right, little guy? Amber, I understand this is your first time running in the relays. How much pressure are you feeling? How nervous are you? I don't want to scare anybody, but shh, the Cubs have won 6 in a row.
Ben Rosehart would not eat green eggs and ham.
He would not eat them, Sam, I am.
He would not eat them all alone. But I will eat them if you...
It's not over till it's over. You got to play all 60 minutes. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Well, all three of those cliches applied today as the Hawkeyes were upset in the final seconds against Central Michigan. With fans sporting black and gold and also green for Brett Greenwood, quarterback James Vandenberg decides to get that first passing touchdown of the season out of the way. He finds Cavante and Martin Manley in the first quarter for the 10-yard TD, 7-0 Iowa. Still in the first quarter, Iowa now trailing by 3, 10-7. On fourth down, Mark Wiseman finds some space. He gets the first and then some, 34 yards to the house. Puts the Hawkeyes back in front, 14-10. But oh, those pesky Chippewas. Ryan Radcliffe had a great game throwing the ball, locates Titus Davis for a 29-yard TD score in the second quarter. Iowa actually trailed by 9 points at the half.
In a game of Scrabble, these kids have found the winning combination. Now that's what I call a triple word score.
Papa Rosehart and I have always loved chess, and we're going to tip things off tonight with a chess match between Bettendorf and Muscatine. Second-ranked Bulldogs hosting the Muskies. Pick up in the first quarter, Cole Clearman forces the turnover, then it's Dylan Sortillo and Passant. That's in passing, and French glides in for the layup. It's 12-6 Bettendorf as the Bulldogs
does Passant get you?
Capture a 6-point lead. A few minutes later, Chris Clay Bundy feeds Sortillo behind the arc. Sortillo personally oversees an 8-0 run. Bettendorf up 17-6. Time winding down now in the first. Tanner Lloyd with the skewer inside to Luke Reilenbuehler. Gets the hoop right there, but Bettendorf finds a way to call checkmate as Kendall Jacks decides to just use the baseline instead of castling. Both teams shot over 60% in the first half. Bulldogs remain undefeated. Final score 78-35. Now UT Panthers are trying to make Quincy feel sorry before sliding back home. UT gets rolling early. Evan Spurgettis hits the tray from the corner. More from the Panthers in just a couple seconds. Keegan Wenskunis, sorry if I said his name wrong, buries a triple of his own. Panthers within 1. Decades removed from a historic accomplishment, members of the 1953 Clinton St. Mary's basketball team love to share their story. Even though their school does not exist anymore, players and cheerleaders from that special season proudly remember a Cinderella story that ended with a championship.
The Irish of St. Mary's with a big lead, breaking the offensive zone. Another shot is good, this time by Jim Hyde.
Most of us sum it up that night when we played at Tumwa, it wouldn't have mattered who we played because it was just one of those perfect games that we had, and we could have beat anybody that night.
They can't miss now, and they haven't been able to miss all night.
It's been 60 years since Clinton St. Mary's, a small Catholic high school of about 50 students, won the state basketball championship at the University of Iowa Fieldhouse. Players like Dick Lingle and Lauren Hyde are quick to point out this was before there were separate classifications.
We always say one class state championship, so it had never been done before by a Catholic school. We were 13-5, and then won our last 13 in a row.
Sometimes it seems like a dream, and we had such a good starting five. Especially playing mostly bigger schools.
There's a lot of things that come back every time I think about it. And you think about it more on the 50th, the 40th, the 25th, and now the 60th, which is awesome that we're still here. Starting five is still intact. The starting 4 cheerleaders are still intact.
Dick also married his high school sweetheart, Dorothy, who was one of the cheerleaders.
If we even lost, we would have been a winner because we had gone so far.
And so we were real proud of our team, proud of our school, proud of the Irish.
The community had plenty to be proud of that year. In fact, it was almost an all-Clinton final, as Clinton High School also made it to the semifinals.
Those last couple of nights, I think all of Clinton was out there. And, of course, with Clinton High playing, and then we were out there, too, cheerleaders rooting with one another.
It was magical. You know, when you start playing and you know Clinton High is going to be playing and you're going to be playing, you think, oh, we'll do our best, but the odds for us to do what we did do were something that none of us really thought about.
Everybody knows by now that the state championship belongs to St. Mary's of Clinton. The ball game is just about over.
It was electrifying. There was so much energy in that gym.
A job well done, and one of the magnificent performances.
It still stays with you today when you think about it.
There they are, the champions.
Seems like a dream, and then again, you know, it's reality. Especially, you know, 60 years ago.
The Catholic high schools in Clinton were later consolidated, and today their spirit lives on in what we know as Prince of Peace. The 1953 Clinton St. Mary's team will be honored Friday during halftime of the boys' game between Prince of Peace and Lisbon. We plan to have a camera crew on hand as part of the Highlight Zone. Sterling's Joseph Bertrand played through a shoulder injury, but somebody might want to check on Brandon Paul's back after he carried Illinois past Minnesota.
I'm not going to let anybody get the ball in that situation. You know, for a couple of reasons. Obviously, I'm a senior. You know, I feel like a leader of this team, you know, being a captain the last couple of years. At the same time, you know, someone else makes a mistake in those situations, I don't want to put them through that. I want to be the one to make the mistake, you know. So just, you know, the teammates, you know, they have a lot of confidence in me, you know, coaching staff. You know, they're debating calling a timeout, and they knew, you know, just to let me have the ball and just work.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It was a big-time shot by Brandon. We gave him the ball and we said, you know, here, do your thing, and he did it.
You know, Brandon has been carried us pretty much the whole game. We wanted the ball in his hands. So Brandon got the ball, we cleared it out, and he made a play.
In addition to Paul's heroics, Illinois' defense forced 19 Minnesota turnovers.
We didn't get very many second shots. I thought their defensive rebounding was terrific. You know, I thought in the second half, the bulk of those minutes were probably better played by Minnesota. First half, I thought it was us.
Illinois' reward, an early bird special tomorrow morning against top-seeded Indiana, which brings back some memories of another game-winning basket, courtesy Tyler Griffey. At the United Center in Chicago, Ben Rosehart, KBQC TV6 Sports.
Some happy tears fell, and my family was just proud of me, and it was just a great moment, one that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
How's this for a high school graduation present? The Kansas City Royals want you, Chad Johnson. That's right, you to be their catcher of the future. So much so that they drafted him in the 5th round, upping their offer after first playing a little hardball.
You know, their job is to get the players for the lowest price that they can, and you have to stay strong. And of course I said no, and I was a mess. I was just, my head dropped to the floor, and I was just disappointed. And then I got that call, and they upped the ante, and you know, it made me feel good to know that they really wanted me, and I knew they really wanted me.
So what's the signing deal?
I'm not going to say the money figure. It's pretty good. College is in there, so if I don't make it to the pros, or if I get out of Major League Baseball for some reason, I can go to college within 2 years after I'm done, after I'm out of action, and they'll pay for it all.
Johnson already had a baseball scholarship to play at Illinois State, but will gladly take a detour on a path he hopes leads to the major leagues.
Pitchers are definitely the first top prospects. They're the ones who get a lot of the money, but a lot of the position players like catchers, shortstops, and center fielders are also high up there. And obviously, teams need a catcher. I mean, if you don't have a good catcher that can't block balls and handle your pitching staff, you're not going to be very good. So I think that helped me a little bit.
Chad reports to surprise Arizona this weekend while he'll get started in the Royals organization. And in a year or two, you might see him again in the Midwest. Along his path to the majors, he could end up playing for the Kane County Cougars against the River Bandits, Bees, Lumber Kings, and Peoria Chiefs.
That'd be very cool. You know, I've always said going to Bandits games and Chiefs games that, man, I want to play here someday. And, you know, that's just a stepping stone. Hopefully I'll be there one day. And it'll be really cool if that happens.
Chad gets started with minicamp for about 6 days and projects to play with the surprise Royals this summer in the Arizona League before heading to the Instructional League this fall. In Galesburg, Ben Rosehart, KWQC TV6 Sports.